you like producing. Do you lean towards producing more than performing?
I don't love doing that
because it's hard.
I don't like. I tell you what I like. I like it. I'm as lazy as the next person. I like it when you can show up and they wrote a really funny script and you do that script. And if there's time, they're like, and improvise, and also make it if you want to throw in your own jokes. Like, I love that, but more and more that doesn't happen. So I feel like I write stuff out of necessity, like for myself.
And that's not a sustainable life, right? Like an actor's life.
I don't think that
you could get really caught off guard. Like it's like next to NFL player in how well you're treated for a very short time.
Yes,
and then
you are your phone does not ring. Yeah, I just didn't ever want to be one of you want to be able to control things as much as you can, and I'm not a good writer. I don't think I'm a good writer, but it's fucking really hard. I have a hard time writing. You probably just fucking pound it out and it's genius, but like. I fucking sit there and like just sweat it out. It's so hard, but I just
is that the hardest part?
What's that?
Is that the hardest part, or is the
writing,
or is it harder to manage? Because
the manage, the managing of the thing I've had help with because like for Dead Body and stuff, I did that with the guys from Children's Hospital with Abominable, and so they helped with all that and Funny or Die. So I've had a lot of support with. I don't know how to fucking hire crews and do a budget for a show. Like I sort of hire someone to do that for me. But the actual like, but so I try to focus on like the writing and then like getting the right mix of actors to help us out, other comedy people to help us out. So I like all that, but to your point, I do that out of necessity because like to just be like a guy that's popping up every now and then on TV shows and movies like that. You can't. I don't know how you can do that anymore. Like I think you have to have like,
I would just be filled with panic the whole time.
Yeah, you have to be creating stuff. You have to.
Because even if you're successful at it, I think that the psychological of not controlling your own destiny is still a mind fuck.
But which makes me admire actors because they. I mean, it's to be able to suppress that anxiety and not like succumb to that.
Completely insane. Yeah, but I do get very jealous of people that that just fucking show. They just like, oh, and then I was on this show, and then I did this huge movie, and now I'm fucking set. You know, it's like I just haven't had that, and like, but more power to you if like that's your
if you can be a gun for hire.
Well, what is the goal? The goal, because I've been a fool, I think, or have I? Maybe I'm nailing it. I don't know, because I just feel like I've spent so long in such a panic, and I've backed into, well. So it's like there's this fundamental layer of like, well, you gotta not be homeless. You gotta not end up fucked up. Like you gotta end up not stupid. Like that you didn't see this trend or that trend coming, or the you didn't see your own obsolescence. You gotta. I just have this very Wisconsin like just terror in me that I don't even think about. It's just there. It's just the foundation of my life. It's like. You got to retire, which is so funny because it's like
I'm not. Yeah, I have no desire to retire. Like
I do. Like
what would you do?
I would fucking. I like not knowing the answer to that question is called freedom. All you have to do is find $1 million under a rock, and then I do Rick and Morty. I do stuff for fun. Like I.
Oh no! What? Come back, come back.
Well, I was just thinking about the fact that I'm just so wrong about everything because I do all this shit, and it probably like, it's like Rick and Morty comes from such joy, so easy. It was like Adult Swim said, do something, and I said, well, I don't want to do something bad, so I called Justin, and then like, just yes anded Justin into this thing that makes so many people happy that then also now is the thing that I'm going to end up, that is going to represent the biggest paycheck I've ever gotten out of all the shit that I've ever done. and it's also the thing that was just fun. So what is all this other Daffy Duck shit that I'm always pulling where I'm like, well, I think that fiber optic is the future, so I want to get in a room with Taco Bell and talk to them about a sketch show made of ground beef where you can vote for each crouton, and I call it the Harmon Taco Deluxe package, and like I'm trying to be a producer because I'm in a panic,
Yeah, I don't know the answer. I guess it just depends on how you value your time and how you value your sanity and if money is the most important thing, or if it's just like, oh, I want to make something that I really like, and I don't know. It's different for everybody, I guess.
Except for the hustle. The hustle is the same for all.
The hustle is the same for everybody.
Whether it comes from wanting to retire early, or whether it comes from having to put food on the table, or whether it comes from wherever, it does not change.
Well, that's what's funny.
But
is
you've
that,
been great at it.
Well, I don't know about great, but I just try to fucking keep doing shit. But thank you for saying that. But that's what's funny to me is like people online or whatever, like on Twitter or whatever, just like, when people say like, why the fuck would you do that? They'll see you in something that's shitty and like, oh, why would you do that? It's like, well, one, you just try a lot of shit. Some of it is good. Some of it is not good. You saw something that wasn't that good. I'm doing other shit too, But I agree with you. That thing was not that good, whatever. But
why were you in Garfield 7?
Yeah. But then there's stuff like that. Like I would be in Garfield 7 in a heartbeat.
Well, because the stakes are pretty low. Like you shouldn't care why are you watching Garfield 7?
Exactly.
Motherfucker?
That's what I say. I say, why the fuck are you watching Garfield 7?
Why did you see me at that party?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to be in Garfield 7.
I feel like that stigma has gone away, which is a good thing probably, but it's gone away because like that Hollywood like edifice has been cracked. Like we're not like people look at what we do as honest labor now a little bit. They look at it as very, very privileged. Like we're lucky because I haven't lifted a box in years.
Yeah.
And I have a 5-bedroom house and I don't have 5 children. I have 2 dogs and some Slim Jims, and it's like, so it's a mansion relative to what I've done and who I am, and it's a fucking wonderful life. And so it's, but I do at the same time think that on an unconscious level, people don't think about it anymore the way they used to. I remember when David Cross was in Small Soldiers 2 or something, and I was like, what? David?
Yeah.
Because I was fresh off the boat from Milwaukee and was like, it's just everything was a choice and everything mattered. And like, I can't imagine anybody's like, Aubrey Plaza, why'd you do Grumpy Cat? Right. I think the answer to everything now is because it's a joke, because life's a joke,
right?
Because working is important, and
also sometimes it's like it was December and there was nothing else going on, and I wanted to go to fucking they were shooting it in Australia, and I thought that'd be a fun place to go.
But I was
in the middle of depression, and they called, so I had to get off the couch.
Yeah, or I just broke up with my boyfriend, and I wanted to get away from him, so I went to
Me wondering why David Cross is in Small Soldiers 2 comes from this weird old world supposition that the goal is to become Cary Grant or something. That there's going to be like you're going to be in Lawrence of Arabia if you play your cards right, or you're going to be Bill Murray. And like, I just don't. We see
that doesn't exist anymore.
I don't. Yeah, it's hard to tell though because it's a moving target. Because like my world has become completely different. So I don't know if I don't know if the world has changed or I've changed. But when I see a poster on a bus stop and like Paul F. Tompkins is looking out from behind a genie bottle or whatever, I'm making that up. That's not real. But if I saw that, I would be like, I'd toot my horn and go like, fuck yes, Paul F. Get that paycheck.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't. But maybe that's a total distortion of working out here.
Yeah, I don't know that those that status exists anymore. Of like, oh, then you just like the Cary Grant analogy is like a good one, but yeah, I don't think that exists. I don't think you ever graduate to this stratosphere where then you just fucking like coast, and you're just in fucking huge, awesome projects. I mean, maybe like I feel like Chris Pratt has done that, like in a cool way. Like he's in huge, cool movies, and but
even Middleditch is doing phone ads. And usually you didn't do those at the same time. You do a series, you get off the series, and you'd be like, "Do you guys miss me? I'm repping a product."
But when
Whereas
I
now
see Middleditch
people are
in that phone ad, my first thought is cha-ching.
Fuck
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like
so happy.
smart.
I think all that has changed. I think the commercial thing has changed.
Yeah.
I think like now, there's no shame in that. Like I feel like that's just fucking
And it's simultaneous.
take their money. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
on a TV show,
Yeah.
and you've got great commercials. It's great.
Yeah.
And I would feel the same way about an NFL player. Like if I'm not a fan of sports, but every time I see an athlete in a sock commercial or something, I'm like, oh, good, save your money. Like, don't, like, you're a gladiator and they're gonna murder you and hang you up to dry. I'm like, it's so great for you and your family that you got to like advertise beefsteak or something. Like if you make it through that thing, like just put that money in a coffee can and fucking guard it with a shotgun. Like buy a house in the worst part of the country, and so that it stays there forever.
State Farm is the greatest insurance on the planet. State Farm.
My name is Jumpin' Jack Lightning.
You probably ask yourself why I'm at IHOP.
Is there any commercial? Not that you were doing him, but is there any commercial that Shaq will not do?
Back pain,
Like
bed pills,
man, Shaq,
Taco Bell, Pepsi, Dawn's back pill, Depends underwear, Air. Welcome to China.
I was at the Turner upfronts, and who was it was the combination of like Conan and I think Charles Barkley and Anderson Cooper. Like really fun, but I was amazed. Like Charles Barkley's like really funny. He's like really. Is he known as among?
I don't know him.
He's hilarious.
But I mean, do people
He's an idiot.
do people like, is his reputation, is he like the Jenny McCarthy of basketball players in that it's like, oh look, he can like make faces too?
It's like he's the David Lee Roth of of basketball players. You're like, man, fuck this. You funny, but fuck this dude. But he does have he's got bits. He's the comic relief.
But that Shaquille O'Neal Waze voice, careful. There's an obstruction coming up. Don't have a Shaq-cident. Amazing. We love that. There's tarot cards we have for different people. Like we need an Athena, we need an Aphrodite, we need a Zeus, we need a Hermes. Arnold Schwarzenegger occupied this for like so long. It was just like his catchphrases were parodies of catchphrases, which were parodies of catch. It's just like he you always want that like big dumb brute. Like somebody that kind of sounds like they're an oaf, and that they just like say stuff like Shaq-cident. I'm sorry, Shaquille O'Neal, if I called you an oaf. Like
okay.
I don't know if you have
more money than you,
146 IQ. You're a giant. Like maybe you sound slow because your heart is probably beating like a whale's. Like it's probably like when you listen to the whale beats and it's like boom, boom, because it's like a bucket of blood has to go up 9 feet.
You are never going to be on his podcast.
There's no way I'm digging myself out of this 9 foot, 300-pound hole of making fun of Shaquille O'Neal. I didn't mean to call him slow.
I feel like I should just leave you here to wallow in this hole, but we have to wrap it up in a much better
You can
way
help
than
me.
that. No,
Brandon.
Nope.
Talk to Tiny Brandon for me. Tell him, help me with Shaq.
Tiny Brandon's pissed off, too.
Tiny Brandon's fucked. I am fucked. I have no support system in the African American community.